Giannis is having to carry an unusually high workload on that end of the floor. During the win streak, 37 a game, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 58% from the field. Actually, if you go back all the way to this December 19th game, so a longer stretch here, 34 and a half, 13 and a half rebounds, a little under 6 assists, 55%. To me, this is a guy, I don't think it's a stretch to say he's going to go down as a top 15 player ever. I don't think it's a stretch to say he has a really good chance to be in the conversation as a top 10 player of all time. And I recognize that every modern NBA player has all the haters in the world. So Giannis travels too much. Giannis plays bully ball. Giannis can't make free throws. Giannis can't shoot jumpers. Great. The motherfucker dominates.
You heard the man. Giannis has been absolutely dominating, and it's time the NBA gave this man his flowers. As competitive as the MVP race has been so far this season, it seems like Giannis is getting slowly forgotten with the way he's been carrying the Bucks all season long. Milwaukee flexed their guns by having a 12-game winning streak this season, and as JJ Redick said earlier, Giannis was the major reason behind all this as he carried the Bucks by averaging just a tick under 35 points a ball game, while grabbing 12.8 rebounds and dishing out 5.6 assists on almost 58% shooting from the field in this particular stretch. With that kind of a monster stat line, the Greek freak is slowly making his case for MVP as of late. And even though the media has Jokic as the clear favorite for MVP, let's not forget Giannis' complete dominance so far this season. I mean, if you're going to compare his scoring stats this season to his MVP years, you can see that he's actually amped it up even further this year on the offensive end by averaging 31.8 points a ball game. And as the regular season finishes up, the rest of his numbers will definitely increase to crazy levels as well, with the way he's been anchoring the entire offense of the Bucks. And with that said, let's take a closer look at how Giannis has been dominating offensively, starting with his transition game.
The young man from Milwaukee, Antetokounmpo.
Yeah.
So he gets it off the defensive board, and he's almost 7 feet, and he turns into a guard and, attacks the offensive end of the court. If I had tried to do that, I would have been sitting on the bench. I would have been over there with John Black. He was set.
Standing at 7 feet, Giannis is simply unstoppable in the open court once he gets a clear runway going to the rim. Off a defensive board, Giannis goes coast to coast here as he just took it to the heart of the Heat defense without anyone daring to stop him. Now, even if there's a legit shot blocker ahead of him, like Mitchell Robinson in this play, Giannis will never ever pull the brakes, and instead he'll even step on the gas, which could end up really bad for the one guarding him 9 times out of 10. And even if he's clearly outnumbered, Giannis will still power through with his insane brute strength. I mean, in this sequence, it is literally 4 against 1. But that didn't matter as the Greek freak still finished his play with a left-handed hammer. In terms of transition attacks, Giannis ranks second in the league, only behind LeBron for most points scored in fast break situations this season with 5.5 points a ball game. And according to ESPN's Tim Ledger, here's another reason why Giannis is so hard to stop in transition.
Here's Giannis, the ball comes off now. He's right here. He's just going to get out and fill. And once again, Cavs are in a decent position. As this ball's advanced, he catches it. He's 35 feet from the basket. Here comes Dwayne Wade trying to get back to help. Kyle Korver's in a tough spot right here. He's got to try to contend with this guy depending on what direction he goes. And as Giannis catches it, again, it's one dribble at the rim. And right about here, take a look at Dwayne Wade. He's saying, man, I am definitely not down with this at this stage of my career.
And now, apart from being unstoppable in the fast break, Giannis has also become deadly to guard when he decides to go for those downhill drives. What's great about Giannis is that he can turn up his boosters really quick in any given situation. In this play, you'll see that Giannis switched gears as he passed the half-court line, and then he went for the big Euro step before dropping the anvil. Now, off a semi-transition, Giannis got the ball. And just check out how many dribbles he took here before serving up a facial to the backpedaling Nurkic. And if the defense decides to collapse on him, Giannis will still find a way to score the bucket, just like what he did here against 3 Bulls defenders. So far this season, Giannis has been unleashed inside the shaded lane with those drives as he racks up 18.8 points in the paint. Good enough to take the second spot overall, only behind Zion Williamson. Now, aside from punishing the rim up close, Giannis has developed a sweet touch from outside this season, and he has made his defenders pay if they decide to sag on him. See, in this play, Giannis just kept sizing up KP here, but when he realized that he was too far, Giannis stopped on a dime him and made an easy rhythm jumper. The same thing happened here. Zubac was expecting a hard drive on Giannis, that's why he backed up. Now, when Giannis noticed this, he just stopped and then drilled this three-point bucket with great confidence. And again, if you give him too much space, he'll knock it down and make you pay for sure. Now, aside from his jumpers, the next part of his game that really impresses me most this season is his ability to hit tough shots. I mean, check this out. He backs down the much smaller Alvarado here, and instead of overpowering him, Giannis showed his finesse by drilling a Dirk-esque fadeaway. Now, in this crucial play, Giannis was confident enough to pull this turnaround off the glass jumper against a premier defender in Clint Capella. And in this last sequence, he just took a page out of DeMar DeRozan's book as he nails this tough step back with the defense all over him. Now, speaking of DeRozan, here's his take on why Giannis is just a totally different beast than the rest of the pack.
It's remarkable the effort that you see he put in to want to be great. Is something that, as a basketball fan and a spectator, I look at like a guy like Giannis, or if I'm someone else who's trying to make it, let me see how dedicated he was. Because I remember when he first came to the league, he was just a skinny kid. You would push him around.
Didn't really know how to play basketball.
Didn't know how to play basketball.
But there was something there.
It was something there. But a lot of people have something there. That don't necessarily mean they find it. For him, you could tell the dedication and how bad he wanted. Even to this day, you could just see how bad he wants it. You could see it physically, his demeanor. When he go out there on the court, he's a killer. Every time. And as a fan, as a basketball fan, you got to respect that and, being able to compete against him.
The next part of his game that has improved tremendously this season is his footwork. Here, Giannis shows off his handles by putting Embiid on skates with a crossover before throwing the hammer down on his head. Now, in this next play, Giannis pulled all the tricks from his bag, starting with the spin. Then he followed it up with a Euro to finish this one with a nasty jam right on LeBron's grill. Here, Giannis pulled the brakes after going for a Hesse. He then baited KP with the pump fake, and after the flyby, he just used a simple step through to finish this one nicely with a finger roll. And in this last sequence, Giannis looked like a 7-foot Kyrie here, because after he went full steam ahead, he then went for a Euro before finishing this play with a left-handed jelly leg. Now, there are many basketball analysts that have kept an eye on Giannis' dominance, and one of them is Shaq. Despite frequently roasting Charles Barkley and taking a shot at today's big men like Rudy Gobert, Shaq had nothing to say but praise and respect for Giannis whenever his name came up in any conversation.
I'm denouncing my Supermanship and I'm giving it to the Greek freak.
He can wear the, can wear the S?
It's him.
He can wear the S?
Yes, it's him now.
Who's the most dominant player in the paint, you or him?
Him?
You or no, you're not.
No, him.
No way.
Kenny, it's his era. And somebody asked me the other day, oh, Shaq couldn't play today. But you're not paying attention. I am playing today. My name is Greek Freak. I will bring my length. I will bring my athleticness. So before you say Shaq can't play in this era today, I'm already playing. My name is Giannis Antetokounmpo, however you pronounce it.
Similar to Shaq, let's take a look at how Giannis has been dominating the paint this season. After sliding from pick-and-roll action, look at how quickly Giannis cuts here in the paint, and when he's that deep, there's just no way you're going to stop the Greek Freak. And if the opposing team is trying to build a wall to defend him, Giannis can just bully ball his way inside using his brute force and athleticism. In this post play, Giannis just ate Naz Reid as he put him on a spin cycle before smashing it down in Karl Anthony Towns' face. And in this very last clip, just look at how he made it look so easy to score in the paint as if the Pistons' interior D was never there in the first place. For 4 years in a row, Giannis has finished in the top 5 of MVP voting. And if the Bucks manage to top the Celtics in the East, he can actually give Nikola Jokic a run for his money with the way he's been stacking up his numbers as of late. The only way to stop Giannis right now is to make him a jump shooter. But as you've seen in the previous clips, he's slowly hitting his outside shots at a more consistent rate. So technically speaking, you can just simply pray that he doesn't make his jumpers. Because if he does, then that will only make him a truly unstoppable player from whichever angle you look at it. So what do you guys think is Giannis' biggest strength that he's shown so far? Do you think it'll be enough for him to win another MVP? Let us know in the comments below. Aside from Giannis, Luka Doncic is also quickly becoming one of the most terrifying players in the NBA. If you want to learn more about just how he's doing it, we've got you covered with this video right here. Go ahead and click it. It's free.